Hi there, these comments are for YK, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you sent me an email, so I want to respond to your message. So you say, I'm YK, a student from South Korea. I saw your TOEFL Online courses in your YouTube channel. Actually, I don't have TOEFL IELTS score. My teacher said my current level is 30 to 40 in TOEFL. I'm not good at academic English, but I can say my opinion with easy words. I need 79 TOEFL score overall, 22 in reading, 22 listening, 18 speaking, and 17 in writing. I have about 1 month before my exam, and I will take my first TOEFL exam on 9th August. I'm willing to study 10 hours a day. I hope to become a computer programmer in USA or Canada, and I need to go to the university and there. Thank you for your reading. I will wait for your answer. Wow. Okay, 10 hours a day, my goodness. Okay, so let's take a look at two different things. I'm going to give you some suggestions right now. General exposure to English, and then wow. The problem is, I'm going to be honest with you, if you study 10 hours a day, there is a really high chance of what's called burnout, psychological burnout. That's a lot of English. So I'm going to give you suggestions in two categories. I will give you some suggestions on what you can do to increase your exposure to English, right? And then also I will tell you how you can use my online TOEFL course. Now, first of all, it's my opinion that you probably will not be able to reach your goal in 30 days. 30 to 40 on the TOEFL, and to go all the way to 79, that is not an easy hill to climb or a mountain to climb. You're probably looking at 3 to 6 months. Most students improve their TOEFL scores about 5 to 10 months for each, 5 to 10 points for each month that they study. All right, nevertheless, I'm going to give you some suggestions, and if you can do these things for the next 30 days, it will definitely improve your academic English language abilities, definitely, right? So I'm going to suggest reading every day for 45 minutes, and you can choose magazines, newspapers, and longer books. Any materials that you have an interest in, just make sure they're geared toward adults and not children. Now, you should also be practicing listening every day for 45 minutes. In this case, use English TV if you have it, and focus on news, documentary, history, and most importantly, science programs. So if you can do those two things under the general exposure category, that gives you an hour and a half right there. So as you're doing the reading and the listening practice, you want to also focus a lot on your note-taking. You want to try to get down in note form the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. Now, using your notes, I want you to write 3 250-word summaries each week. So we'll put here weekly. Remember that your academic summaries are focusing on the main points of the reading and the listening passages. Now, in addition to doing writing practice, you should also be doing speaking practice. And we'll say here, how about this? We'll say giving maybe 3 60-second oral summaries each week. So again, remember that you're doing the reading practice and the listening practice, and then you're taking down the main points and the most important supporting points in note form, then you're writing and you're speaking about this information. So when you do your 60-second oral summaries, you should record your voice so you can listen to your pronunciation. You can listen to your grammar and your vocabulary. And you can also listen to your topic development. Now, it is here. As you're doing this writing and speaking practice, remember, you're not using easy words. You're trying to use words from the reading and the listening passages. This is important because this will really help you to improve your vocabulary. You see what we're saying? Now, number 6. I'm going to say watch one movie daily. That gives you another 2 hours. This is just to have fun. You don't have to do anything other than just watch the movie. Now, if you want to do closed caption to practice pronunciation, you can do that. But watch one movie each day. Now, if you can do this, this probably puts you at about 2 to 3 hours of study every day. Just doing these things. Okay, there's one more thing I want to add to the general exposure category. I want you to join Toastmasters.org, international speaking organization. Probably there is a group in the city in which you live in South Korea, so you can check out the internet and see if you can find a club near your city. If there is a club near your city, I want you to join that group. Okay, so now I've kind of laid out 7 specific things. All of these things, I promise you, they will really have a big effect on helping you improve your academic English. Remember, you're not just doing reading and listening practice, but you're note-taking and you're writing and you're speaking about this information. It's important that you do step 4 and 5 because it will really help you begin to use academic type vocabulary words. Alright, now let's talk about my online TOEFL course. Because your score is so low, my advice for you right now is to just focus in the first 3 sections of my course for right now. So that means vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar. That's what you need to be focusing on first. Right? So I recommend that set aside time each day and do a vocabulary lesson, then do a pronunciation lesson, then do a grammar lesson. If you have more time, then do another vocabulary lesson, another pronunciation lesson, and another grammar lesson. Right? So do those first 3 sections of my online course first. And once you've done that, then you can do the listening and the reading sections of my course. Once you finish those, then you can do the speaking and the writing sections of my course. So you have really, you're saying you have 10 hours a day. I have more than enough practice to give you 10 hours a day. It's my opinion at the conclusion of this video that if you can follow at least these first 7 things to improve your general exposure, and then as you go through my online TOEFL course, you follow the steps as I recommend, doing vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, then you do listening, reading, and speaking and writing, I think that you will be able to improve your academic English language abilities. My advice is, at the end of 30 days, which puts you at about July 26, I recommend that you take a full-length IBT practice test. You've never taken the TOEFL test before, so I think that you should take a full-length IBT practice test before you take the actual TOEFL exam, because if you can do this, 3 things are going to happen. Number one, if you take the full-length IBT practice test, you get familiar with the structure and the format of the TOEFL exam. That's important. Number two, you develop the strength and the stamina needed to take a 5-hour English test, because this full-length IBT practice test takes 5 hours. So it's just like the real TOEFL. Number three, you can mark your progress. So you can make a decision based on your practice test score. You'll get subtotal scores in the reading, listening, speaking, and writing. And as you're saying, you need to get certain subtotals. You can see how close you are in the reading, listening, speaking, and writing. When you do the IBT practice test, you get an overall score, so then you can compare. You can see it, and then you can ask a question. Am I ready to spend $200 to take the TOEFL exam, or do I need to continue studying and building my English before taking the test? All right, so those are my comments for you. So I gave you 7 general things you can do to improve your general exposure to English, and then I showed you how you can use my online TOEFL course. And by the way, the full-length practice tests, I don't actually offer them in my online course. However, in the 8th section of my course, you can learn more about my full-length IBT practice test, and I have a link that will take you to a website, and you can actually register to take one of those tests there. And you can use my discount code to get a discount on those. So what I'm saying is the full-length IBT practice tests are not covered by the tuition that my course costs. You have to pay some additional fees, but I promise you it's a lot less expensive than paying $200 taking the real TOEFL exam. All right?